All right, Nick. Coach Mike Norvell and the Florida State Seminoles are fully underway for fall camp, and it seems as if things are going very, very good so far, especially on the offensive side of the ball. There's one young playmaker who's really starting to distance himself from the pack.
Yeah, Miles, there's a lot of good momentum behind this Florida State program right now. A lot of young guys stepping up, a lot of potential breakout candidates. And that leads me to my question today for you FSU fans to answer, as always, in the comments section below. Give us your breakout candidate, whether it's an offensive player, defensive player, heck, maybe even a special teams guy. Give us your one breakout candidate for the FSU Seminoles as we get ready for the 2023 season in the comment section below. All right, Miles, what you got? What's the latest update out of Tallahassee?
Yeah, Nick, this young playmaker could be the next big thing, the next breakout player for the Florida State Seminoles. We're talking about former five-star recruit Hakeem Williams. This guy, it seems to be a great, great player for Florida State and could be just the thing that quarterback Jordan Travis needs to come out and bump this team over the edge. They didn't have a single 1,000-yard receiver last season, but I think this guy could come in and really elevate the passing attack. Let's get into the article now. Says there might not be a true freshman on the roster with more potential than former five-star wide receiver Hakeem Williams, the top-rated signee in Florida State's 2023 class. Williams has begun to find his footing more consistently in camp as of late. He's remarkably in better shape and slowly appears to be unlocking the skill set that made him a national recruit. Head coach Mike Norvell said that he's seen Williams begin to grow up, particularly over the last week. Said consistency will be the key in pushing him to reach his vast ceiling. He's growing up. I still want consistency. Even today, he had 2 or 3 really good plays, but a couple plays early you really have to be better, Norvell said. We know we've got a talented young man, and he's a wonderful young man, but it's the consistency of the push when you get tired. It's the consistency of the details, finishing plays. I really like what I've seen, especially this week. I think he's grown up a little bit, but there's still some steps that need to be taken, but we're definitely heading in the right direction. So, Nick, I think the talent of a guy like Hakeem Williams is really starting to flash. He's getting into that college mindset. He's getting into the upper echelon of football with a team like Florida State has been at. This guy could potentially break out this season and show why he was such a big-time commitment to this program. But what do you think about Williams? What do you think about Norvell's comments on Williams? And how is this going to affect FSU going forward?
Yeah, so Florida State's kind of in an interesting position. They come out in the AP poll. They're the number 8 team in the country right now. Norvell's done one heck of a job revitalizing this program, but they're going to have to rely on a lot of these young guys like Williams to be big-time playmakers, and they're going to have to be big-time guys right out of the gate. They open up, of course, against the LSU Tigers, which I think is the biggest game involving Florida State in a number of years. If Florida State can beat LSU, keep in mind, LSU, another year with Coach Kelly, returning quarterback, a lot of returning talent on offense and defense, a lot of NFL talent. LSU, top 5 program, SEC, right? They went to the SEC championship game last season. If Florida State can beat LSU, then they immediately move into college football playoff contention. And then you fast forward to November 23rd, they then play Clemson, which is obviously the other big dog in the ACC. So we will basically know by the end of September how good Florida State's going to be. Are they a college football playoff team? Are they a national title contending team? Or are they just a good, solid football team? You're going to have to start fast if you're Florida State. And look, like you mentioned, Miles, they don't have a plethora of offensive playmakers. They're going to have to rely a lot on the young guys, specifically Williams in this case. And the fact that he's doing well, but the fact that Norvell is also pushing him to continue to get better and get more consistent, I think is a good sign for Florida State. They're going to need him right out of the gate week 1. This is not a freshman that they're going to have to ease into it, right? They're not going to sit there and say, we'll give you a few reps week 1, a few more week 2, and so on. And maybe by the bowl game, you'll be ready to go. No, they're going to need him to be ready to step up and make big plays for this offense right out of the gate against one of the best programs in the country. This kid has the talent to do it. He's a 5-star recruit for a reason. All the physical tools, seems to be playing very well in camp, which is a great sign, of course, that he'll step up. But they're going to need him, Miles, because this is going to be a brutal opening start to the schedule. But like I said, if Florida State can power through it, if they can beat Clemson, if they can beat LSU, and of course, if they don't have any slip-ups in between those 2 games, this team could win a national title. Like, seriously, they could end up playing Georgia, who I think will be the other top contender in the national championship game come January. That's how important the month of September is, and that's how important it is for this Florida State football team that Williams gets off to a great start.
Yeah, Nick, and I think Jordan Travis, being in his senior year, having all of the experience, he's seen it all, that could be a big factor. Also, the addition of former South Carolina Gamecock Jaheim Bell, hybrid tight end / running back. He's a great playmaker. He's also been doing very well through camp so far. I think that could be another little bit of juice to push this team forward. So I think the combination of Travis, Bell, and Williams is going to give us a much, much different offense to this Florida State team this season. I think, like you said, that could be the juice that gets them over the finish line. That could be the thing that out of the gate helps them beat a team like LSU, helps them beat the Clemsons of the world, and perform to the championship caliber that we think that they could be at.
Yeah, and just one more thing to end on here, Mize. Obviously, you don't want to have to rely on a freshman, but the one positive sign of it is that these other programs, they've got no film on this kid. LSU has nothing to game plan against for Williams. The same thing with Clemson a month later when they play Florida State. They can use that to their advantage and use Williams in some very creative ways. That's what I'm expecting on this Florida State offense. And Seminoles fans expect a lot of big plays, maybe some unique formations, maybe something special to get the ball in his hand against both Clemson and against LSU. But the fact, again, that Williams is doing so well in camp is a great sign because, like I've said multiple times, they're going to need him.